Hey everybody, Colton here, and we have a new picture of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom on the set of Avengers Doomsday, and I am not even joking when I say that there are a ton of small details in this photo that are giving us some major hints on what to expect from RDJ's version of Doom. So we need to discuss what these little dots on his face are teasing, why his muscles are so freaking huge, and why he's reading a book by Hawkeye himself, Jeremy Renner. So these dots on his face are facial tracking dots, and they could be our biggest clue yet at the version of Doctor Doom that we will be getting in Doomsday, a movie that was originally about the Council of Kangs and that I think could now be about the Council of Dooms. So, in the picture we get RDJ sitting in front of his trailer on set with this great poster on the door that reads, "Do not knock, trust yourself." And we have this classic version of comic book Doom pointing. RDJ appears to be wearing a padded suit to make his muscles look bigger and more defined, hinting that they really are going to give us a Doom that is a force to be reckoned with. I am talking God Emperor level Doom. A Doom that can rip out Thanos' spine level powerful, showing that, unlike Tony Stark, this guy doesn't need armor or gadgets to take on a super soldier, a mad titan, a god, you name it, Doom can handle it. You'll also notice that he has these motion tracking dots on his face. This is something you've likely seen before if you've ever watched like a behind the scenes video for the making of a show that involved de-aging. Take the Ahsoka series for example. Here on set we can see that Hayden Christensen has these dots on his face because in post they made him look younger to better match how Anakin looked in Revenge of the Sith. We've also seen this technology used many times in other MCU projects, like in Ant-Man and in Endgame when they de-aged Michael Douglas to play a younger Hank Pym, Sam Jackson's Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, and even RDJ as Tony Stark in Captain America Civil War. So the question becomes, why are they de-aging Doctor Doom, or is that even what they are doing? I actually have another theory on what these dots could really mean, and I want to share that with you here in a second, but first let's explore that de-aging route. We know from the comics that Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards are rivals going all the way back to their college years, and we know that in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, we are going to be getting a story that primarily focuses on the battle between Reed and Doom as the leaders of these opposing sides of good and evil. I can imagine a scene where Reed Richards is sharing with the Avengers who this Doom guy really is and how he's not this Tony Stark person that they all recognize him to be. This could be the moment where we finally see the backstory of Reed Richards and RDJ's Doom, giving us a flashback to their college days and their early battles. And that could totally be why Doom has these tracking dots on his face and needs to appear younger. This could be the moment that we see the origins of this variant of this version of the character and how he differs from Tony Stark. Now, a second ago, I gave some examples of how these dots were used to de-age, but they have also been used to age up, like we saw with Steve Rogers in Avengers Endgame. If you look here, Downey is rocking the gray sides, which makes me think that we could be seeing a Doom who is supposed to be older than Downey naturally looks. So these dots could be an indication that they are going to age up RDJ for Doctor Doom, which would actually make this supposedly set image of RDJ's Doom make a lot more sense. In this picture, they have him rocking white hair and a white beard, and I'm not sure if that's a real photo. I lean toward it probably being fake, but we shall see. And I'm also open to the idea that we may actually be seeing far more than one Doctor Doom in this movie, all of course being portrayed by Tony Stark. I mean, this is the multiverse saga, and variants have been a huge part of the story so far. We also have to remember that this movie was originally Avengers the Kang Dynasty and was about the Council of Kangs and their war with the Avengers to maintain control of the multiverse. Well, if Kang was replaced with Doom and a lot of the movie is still the same, and the precedent has been laid for Doom to be a variant of our beloved Tony Stark, and on the stage at Comic-Con when they announced RDJ's Doctor Doom, we got this huge crowd of other Dooms surrounding him. I think it's beginning to look more and more likely that we'll be seeing RDJ play several versions of Doom in this movie. An older Doom, a younger Doom, and maybe even a Doom with a gnarly face scar like we've seen here in Avengers Endgame after Tony snapped. Most of this effect is digital, and I could see them going that digital route for the notorious Doom face scar instead of using practical effects, especially if RDJ is playing multiple versions on the same day of shooting. The easiest path would just be to do these facial tracking dots, and then in post you can make him look however you want. And that could also be why Downey has been rocking this short haircut, because he is wearing different wigs to play different versions of Doom, and maybe even some versions of Tony Stark. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super excited about the prospect of seeing a Council of Dooms echoing that of the notorious Council of Kangs and even the Council of Reeds that we've seen in the comics. These councils are of course multiversal collections of variants working together for a common goal, and we could even hear the Council of Dooms talk about how some versions of themselves become this guy that we know as Tony Stark, just like the Council of Kangs had many characters who went by different names as well, like Rama Tut, Victor Timely, Nathaniel Richards, and Immortus. Now, in this photo that RDJ posted, we also see him reading this new book by his Avengers co-star Jeremy Renner, who of course plays Hawkeye. Now, recently we've actually heard Renner call out Marvel and Disney for not offering him enough money to return for Hawkeye Season 2, and honestly, I'm fine, one, with him wanting, a bigger paycheck. I mean, he's Jeremy Renner, but I'm also fine with them opting not to include his character in this show, because I think that show really should be Kate Bishop's now. I'm more interested in seeing Clint on the big screen, and there was also that recent report that after Vision Quest, we aren't going to be seeing big movie characters in the shows anymore. And I just like the idea of Clint actually staying retired this time, at least for a little bit.
Clearly retirement doesn't suit you.
Well, I played 18, shot 18. Just can't seem to miss.
That is until he joins the fight in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, and maybe even joins the side of this guy who looks like his old friend Tony. I've speculated before that we will see 3 factions in Doomsday. The team of Avengers in the MCU, led by Doctor Doom, that are determined to destroy the Fox X-Men universe in order to save their own. And then there would be a team of X-Men, led by Magneto, determined to destroy the MCU to save their own universe. And then Sam Wilson's Captain America, Professor Xavier, Monica Rambeau, the Fantastic Four, and all the other defectors will make up a third team that is trying to find another way to stop the incursion that doesn't involve genocide. So with Clint Barton having just got his family back from the blip and having finally retired, I could see him siding with Doom and the new Avengers in their regrettable mission to destroy this other universe to save their own, because he refuses to lose his family again. And I could also see him being loyal to Tony, being that it was Tony's genius that actually made it to where they could bring his family back, and then of course he made that ultimate sacrifice. And I think that Clint would make a great addition to the new Avengers as a team of anti-heroes with dark pasts who have no compunction about getting their hands dirty.
We're a squad of JSOC guys with no compunction about being impolite.
After all, we did see old Hawkeye become Ronin and do a lot of killing during those 5 years between Infinity War and Endgame. But hey, that's just my theory. I would love to hear yours down in the comments below on what you think this picture of RDJ on the set of Doomsday means. Are those tracking dots de-aging, aging up, adding a gnarly face scar, or maybe all of the above? And could him reading Renner's book be more than just a kind gesture to promote his friend's book, but a tease at a team-up between their characters in Doomsday? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I've been Colton Ogburn, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.